Hey guys, it's Bruce. Welcome to ConvoCourses, and apologize for the late start. Had some business to attend to and some technical difficulties at the same time. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys something I use on a regular basis, some tools that you can use. I mean, I don't know if this will be useful to you, but if you do any kind of content development, if you have to do presentations or anything like that, this will be super helpful. I'm going to show you something called Gamma, which is also an AI tool. And okay, hold on a second. Let me share a screen. Boom. Okay, here we go. So this is Gamma. And what this does is it will help you create a presentation. It can also help you create books. Like it's extremely useful. So I've been using this quite a bit to make slides for some upcoming content I'm going to create. You can take your book if you're creating a book or something and you want to make a presentation out of it. If you have any kind of content, it will help you to create the content, the presentation. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you. And if you're interested in this, link is in the description. It's called Gamma with 2 M's.app. I'm going to demonstrate this live. So let's say we want to create one. If you actually go here, it's actually free to sign up. It'll be blank. You won't have all this stuff here, but let me give you a demonstration of what it looks like when you're done with it. Let me get a good one here. I'm putting together a course that's going to be like a GRC roadmap. And so I'm building it from a book I'm writing. So what I did was I took my book and I uploaded it in there, and it started pulling all the data from my book and putting it into the slide deck instantaneously. So it helps out quite a bit. Now, of course, you got to go in there and massage it and put the images you want and change things. Sometimes the data is a little bit off and stuff like that. So you will have to go in there and fix some things. But for the most part, I mean, a lot of this, I mean, it was extremely helpful. I mean, some of these are me, like I put some of this stuff in here. But let me show you. Let me show you how you do this. So let's say we were starting a new one and we wanted to develop a slide deck presentation from a book that we wrote, right? Or some text you wrote. And so I'm going to go ahead and import. And when you import it, you can import with AI. AI will enhance the content you already have. And it'll add images, a layout, it'll rewrite content, all kinds of stuff. Or you could just do a plain pull in and it'll break it up for you. So let's just do AI. I just want to show you what this thing looks like. So let's just go here and you can do upload from a file. You can import from a drive, your Google Drive. You can import from a URL. So you can actually make a website from it or pull a website into it and make a presentation from that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to upload a file. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to one of the books I'm currently working on. Let me see here. I'm going to go to, there we go, GRC roadmap. You see these are all the iterations of rewrites that I have to do. I'm going through this stuff. It's a lot of work. But let's say we want to do we want to take chapter 1, right? I broke it up into sections because I found it more effective. So I broke my book into sections that I wanted to make into individual slides. And check this out. So it says you're going to import with AI, select a file. I selected a file, and you can make that into a website. You can make that into a document, another document. It'll help you with that. But I just want to make a presentation. So let's just go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And then it's going to ask me a little bit more information. It's got a few different ways you can do this. You can do card by card, meaning you break it up. You say, look, I want it to break right here on the introduction. And then when it gets to chapter 2, I want to break it up right there. And then when it gets to chapter 3 or this section, you can break it up card by card if you want to. But I'm going to go with freeform. And then it's because it'll break it up for me. And then I want medium content. I don't want too many words on the screen. So I'm going to go like medium. And then images. Check this out. This is crazy. So it will put images in there for you from AI. AI will develop the images and put them into the slide deck. So let's say we wanted something cheerful. The image style, I want it cheerful. I want it bright. Childlike. Fun. So that, oops, sorry about that. Hit the wrong button there. So I want it to be fun, childlike, and fun. Okay, there we go. And then look at this. You can use different AI models to do it. So we can use Imagen. We can use this from Google, I believe. You can use Playground, which I've never messed with. Flux, which is really awesome, from Germany. You can do Leonardo Phoenix, which is really good. It's right up there with all the other image generators. Dolly I've used before, which is pretty good, and all that. So we'll just go with Imagen 3, right? It doesn't have Midjourney, because I think Midjourney is paywalled. They don't have like a free version or anything like that. So we're going to condense the information and shorten the content to concise, presentable bits of data. We want a concise paragraphs, but we could go detailed or we could go brief if we want, but we're going to go with just short paragraphs, no more than short paragraphs to explain things. We want images. It's going to create images that are cheerful, bright, childlike, fun. Now, if you know how to do prompting, you can add more information in here to make it even more specific or more to the tone of whatever you're trying to do. But it's going to grab those images from Imagen. And so that's it. Let's see, how many slides do we want? So I think you have to pay if you want more slides, like if you want a whole bunch of slides at once. But you could break it up and I think for free, they give you 8 slides. They give you 8 slides that you can do for free, but I'm going to go, let's say I wanted 30 cards. That's going to be 30 different slides. That's going to pull from this one these 2 chapters that I'm pulling in. So let's go ahead and hit continue. And it gives me more themes. I have dark themes. I can have pastels. I can have all these different colors and all this stuff right here. If you want to see it there, that's what it looks like. But yeah, it's lots of different things we can do. We want it to be kind of bright and fun. So let's go with this color right here. We're going to go with that template. And then you can change the buttons if you want. And that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and generate. Now check this out. Now, what I found is the images, a lot of times I don't care for the images. So I usually switch out a lot of them, but some of the images are fine. And they try to make the images in the theme, whatever you want it to be. And it also will try to match what you're saying on the slide deck, which is really, really cool. So there we go. Look at this. It's pulling directly from the book that I wrote. I'm in like the first draft of the book, but look at this. Childlike, bright, fun. This is what it generated so far. Some of this I could keep. Like a lot of these images I could actually keep, and they will be quite helpful to make it so that my work, it's not going to take me 10 hours to do this, because it's already generated a lot of this. Now, you do have to read through it. One of the things about generative AI is that you don't want to rely on it too much. Like sometimes it'll make things up, and sometimes the images just don't match what you're doing, especially like words in the images. Like, for example, this one right here, CRRC, it'll have like meaningless words in there, or words that are misspelled or just out of whack. This is not looking too bad. You got risk spelled correctly. Compliance is not spelled right. See what I mean? Look, it's just stuff like that. So you do have to do a little bit more work. It's not one of those one and done things. Even if whether you're writing a book with it, you're making a presentation, you're doing editing, it's not perfect. It's going to make mistakes. It's going to put stuff in there. So you need to read through your stuff and not, you don't just generate something and put it out there and publish it, right? When you generate, you use it to help you as a helpful tool. You don't use it to you don't just put it out there without any kind of editing or looking at it. But look at this, looks pretty good, right? Let's just put this in presentation mode so you can see what this looks like. Since it's already done, I think it's already done. Looks like it's actually might still be going. But look at this. Believe it or not, this is an AI generated image right here. It looks like a picture, but that's AI generated. If you keep looking at it, you can kind of tell like that kid's body looks a little too long. Just like little things you'll notice if you stare at it a long time. The legs are a little bit off on the chairs. Like just little things you'll notice. If it's cartoony, you can get away with it because cartoons aren't supposed to be like photographically accurate. But yeah, here's more stuff on super helpful, pretty awesome little tool. I'll show you guys another tool that I use quite a bit for video editing. But yeah, this has been a huge tool that I've been using this a lot for some stuff that I'm going to generate for some upcoming projects that I got coming. It just takes me a while to put these things together because I got to look through it. I got to double check everything. I got to do edits and some of it's, so it's just it's very detailed, deep information that I'm going through. So, but with this tool, it definitely helped me get through a whole bunch of stuff. I got it helped me to do, like 130 slides in a couple days. I mean, for me, like it could have been a lot less than that. It could have been a couple minutes, you know what I mean? But I'm very particular about the images I want in there. So I was putting specific things that I want. So that actually took me a while to go through. Let me show you guys one more tool. I see your questions coming up for the new year and everything. And I want to talk about that, but I wanted to just start it off by showing something that you can use, something that's helpful to you, especially for people who are content developers, or if you're in a position where you have to make presentations, places where you can use these AI tools and in automation and things like that. So here's another one. I talked about this last week briefly, but I didn't go into great detail about it. And this one's called, they changed their name recently, but this is called QSO. I think that's how you pronounce it, or QSO, QUSO.ai. And I want to give you a live demonstration on how I do this. So first of all, I think they have a free tier, but if you're going to be doing a lot of data, you're probably going to have to do the Pro Plus or something else, one of their other upgrades that they have. So I'm going to show you how you go out doing this. And you can see I've been using this quite a bit. All the videos going back like 6 months that I've been using on this thing. So let me show you how you do this. So you'll start off, just go home real quick. Okay, we're already in home. They just changed the dashboard on this thing. But let's say we want a clip. So you would go to clips and you would just go ahead and pull in whatever video you want to edit. You pull it right in here and you can drag and drop it. You can pull it in from somewhere, and then it'll take a while for it to process because it's literally uploading it onto their cloud server somewhere. So that the speed of it's going to depend on your connection and how big the file is. So let's say we pull it in. It takes probably 25 minutes to pull it in or whatever, depending on the size of it. But let's say we pulled it in. It immediately starts chopping it up into bite-sized 1 minute pieces based on the content of the video. It's going by the video and then breaking it up. But this is very, very useful if you do content on YouTube, on TikTok, on wherever platform that has short content, is really, really Reels, all those things, it'll automatically cut them up. Now, it's not perfect. Sometimes it cuts them up in weird places, but it also puts the words at the bottom. Look at it. It just went ahead and cut up this video that I did last week. So now I'm going to show you how you can do long form videos. So if you go to chapters, there's a couple ways you can do it. One of the ways is to go to Vidi right here. And what this does is it takes the entire video and it does a timeline. It can do a timeline of the entire video. Timestamps. Check this out. It's already got the video uploaded, and it'll go through and make all the timestamps. So what you can do from here is you can take those timestamps, copy paste it, and put it into YouTube, and then YouTube will break them up into parts. And then you could take those that from YouTube and then break that into parts. And so for whatever reason, this one's not working. So I'm not sure. That's the first time I've seen it not work. Actually, not sure why this one's not working. But normally, let me see if I can do another video. Maybe that one's too long or something. Go to another video. Let's go back home to home screen. Let's go here. This is a podcast that I did, I don't know, like last week or something, a few months ago. And so if I hit video, let's do timestamps. And if this doesn't work, I'll just move on to the next one. What it's supposed to do is break it down into timestamps. And then you can take those timestamps and then just copy paste them right into YouTube. And then YouTube breaks it up by chapters based off of your timestamp. And for whatever reason, they're not working. This one's not working. But normally it breaks it up automatically. But let's go here to chapters and show you another way that this will break it down for you. So when you go to chapters, so you got shorts, it'll do chapters and then timestamps, which isn't working for whatever reason right now. But this one's really cool too, because with this, it automatically breaks it up by it listens, for lack of a better word, why it looks at everything that's happening and listens to the whole transcripts of your whole video, and then it breaks it into different parts according to the subject matter. Like in this first one, it's your fate's in your own hands. This is when I was talking about the election of the president and people freaking out, and I was saying, hey, this is your life. Like, it's not the president is not going to be the one, no matter who's elected. You're the one who's got to control your own life. So it went to that section, and then it's breaking it up by Trump's proposals, President Trump's proposals. And so it's breaking it up for another long video. That this video is about 10 minutes long. And then here's another one that's about 4 minutes long. And this one's breaking it up by, does every cybersecurity job require a security clearance? And the answer is no to that. But I talk about that for like 4 minutes with me answering questions. So it automatically did this for me. It automatically broke all this stuff down. So if you're a content creator, this is super effective. And if you're interested in this, this tool is called QSO, QUSO.ai. Super easy to use. And then if you're interested in the other one, that one's called Gamma 2Ms.app. And that one's to help you to do presentations. So that's it for that. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. I'm not going to stay on here too long, but I did want to talk to you guys about 2025 and like what are my goals? What I want to hear about your guys' goals for the next year. Like, what are you trying to do? It's probably my last video of the year, and I'm wondering what you guys got going on. So let me go ahead and take some questions. I see some folks on TikTok here asking some questions. I'm going to start from the bottom here. Tanika J says, I just came in. What was the GRC roadmap you just showed? Definitely want to check that out. That's a course that I'm putting together right now. GRC roadmap. It came from somebody who watches me, actually. They said, hey, could you make a GRC roadmap to tell me like how to get from here to there? And I said, that's a great idea. And then I developed it, and I've been messing around with it for like the last couple months. So what I'm going to do is, in order to explain what GRC is and take you from zero to hero, I'm going to teach you exactly how you've already been using GRC and how you can implement that into your current resume. How to get from here to there if you happen to be in the medical industry, a healthcare industry, if you happen to be in transportation industry, you happen to be in retail, you happen to be in restaurant, you happen to be wherever you happen to be. I'm going to show you like, listen, these skills here, this regulation here is what you can use to get from where you are and use that and put that on your resume to look like this, to be a GRC person. But the biggest part of the book is that I'm going to teach you how to use NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0. And the reason why that's important is because the cybersecurity framework, NIST CSF, that's what it's called, is so versatile that you can match it with any industry. Like a lot of times on this channel, I talk about specifically GRC for government. But to be honest with you, not everybody, like if you happen to be from another country, it's not going to be useful to you. If you live in Kenya, NIST 800 is not going to be super useful to you. I mean, if your government uses it or something like that, but normally it's certain countries that use NIST 800, so it's not going to be as effective for you. If you happen to be in the retail sector or in the commercial sector or something like that, NIST 800 itself isn't going to be super helpful to you because most of these guys don't really use that. They use something else. But NIST CSF is so flexible that if you know it, you'll know how it applies to transportation, how it applies to international standards, GDPR. You could apply to anything. It's incredible, including government. So that's why I'm going to use that as a template, as a roadmap to get you from point A to point B. From wherever you happen to be, if you know NIST CSF, I'm going to show you how it applies. I'm going to show you all the core functions. I'm going to show you what profile and the tiers are, how it applies, examples, all that kind of stuff. But it's going to walk you from point A to point B. It's going to be a book. It'll be an audio book. It'll be a physical book. And it'll be a video that and it'll be all wrapped around a community. But all that stuff's going to take me some time. So I'm still developing it. I'm paying for all these different software and all kinds of crap in the back end. So 2025, that's when that I will be releasing that. So just stay tuned. Let me see. Got more people talking to me on TikTok. Happy New Year, by the way. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Blue Morning says, any advice for someone getting into cybersecurity for the new year? Yes. So what I always say is, and I sound like a broken record, but start where you are. If you happen to be, and the reason why I say that is because I get a lot of questions from people from a huge spectrum of people. I get IT professionals who are trying to transition into governance, risk, and compliance. I get people from cybersecurity trying to get into GRC. I get people who are students trying to get, people who have no experience whatsoever. Wherever you happen to be in the military, all these people trying to get to GRC in cybersecurity and stuff like that. And I always say start where you are, because wherever you happen to be, you can use some of the things that you already know to get from point A. So first of all, figure out where you are. Like, what do you know? If you don't know any IT, you got to start there. You got to start with the fundamentals. If you are an IT person, you've been doing this and you're trying to transition, now the next step is to start to learn best security practices. Start to learn best security practices, and more importantly, those that apply to governance, risk, and compliance. So, for the new year, getting into cybersecurity, it depends. That question will depend on where you happen to be, right? So that's why I say start where you are. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions or comments or anything on TikTok. I got a couple. One more. Hey, brother, love your content. When do you usually go live? Oh, man. That's a go. Usually it's about 12 to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But today I had some stuff I had to take care of, so I was late. What I probably need to do on a regular basis is put a message out there saying, "Hey guys, I'm gonna start on Saturday." It's usually Saturday. I can tell you that. Normally it's Saturday, and it's between 12 to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard. But what I need to do is start getting better about sending out a message to everybody saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be on at 2:00 today, or I'm gonna be on at 12 or 1 or whatever." Okay. Let me see. Tariq, how you doing, man? He says, did you hear about GovTechCon? Got an opportunity to attend. They should have had you as a speaker. One of the guys I watch on TikTok, he's there, and he's Dom the genius, Dom the cyber genius. He's like a new dude who does cybersecurity. Love his content. So he's like walking through the area. I think it's on the East Coast, right? It's on the East Coast, like Virginia or something like that. So I've been watching his. I know about it, but all the cool cybersecurity GRC stuff happens on the East Coast. East Coast is a hot market, by the way. I mean, it's just on fire. There's just a lot of stuff in the U.S. There's a lot of 3-letter agencies from the FBI, NSA, NASA, DOD. All those guys are there. Their headquarters is there. And then, you got the Pentagon there. You've got Quantico there. You've got all the federal organizations for the U.S. Well, not all of them, but many of them are in that area. And then on top of that, you've got the Senate is there. They got jobs for doing GRC stuff, and then when they don't, they get hacked and shit. So you've got all the contractors. A lot of the best proposals and stuff are done. They want you to be on site. So a lot of best business is in Virginia, Maryland, DC, that whole area. Have you heard about Elon wanting to bring more Indians over legally to take tech jobs? He says there's not enough good engineers in America. All right. So I've been seeing the news, and I can see that people are super pissed off about it. I think what he meant to say, the thing I don't like about MAGA and Elon and all these guys is that they have some good ideas, but they don't say it right. And then they get mad if you tell them, hey, like, what the hell are you talking about? They get so mad and they're so sensitive. So what he was trying to say in the first tweet was that if you want a badass team, look at he actually used NBA as an example. He says, look at the NBA. The NBA has people he didn't explain it like this, but he should have. The NBA has the best, the reason why it's the best on planet Earth, and the only team that could probably beat it is like a team in Somalia. There's one team that ever beat them. Like, there's not one team, but there's a couple teams out there. But the reason why it's one of the best, top 3, is that they will recruit the best people on Earth. It doesn't matter what nationality you are, what country you came from. They'll get Yao Ming from China, from communist China. They'll get dude from Somalia. They'll get the top talent on planet Earth. If you can play ball and they find you, the scout is going to try to bring you here and give you a lot of money to be the best and most badass person. He was trying to say they're trying to do that with tech. And one of the ways to do that is H-1B. And so for that part, I think that that's a great idea. I personally don't think that they should lessen how many, and I know I'm gonna get hate for this. I don't think you should lessen how many immigrants we have. I think that we should have more immigrants helping us to build this. I think that this country was built on immigrants. I think this is a nation of immigrants. And the reason why it's so badass, the reason why you have cutting edge stuff, the reason why you have so many badass inventions and badass stuff happening here is the best, most badass people from all over the planet are coming here, including you who's watching me. Somebody from your lineage more than likely came here from another place years and decades and generations ago, and they were badasses. They came here and now here you are, and we forget that, like, that this is a country of immigrants. And I actually agree with that part. What I disagree with is the way that they said it. Like, they're just not very good communicators, they're good communicators to their base. They'll say all the right words for their base, but they don't speak to everyone. And this is why they're so divisive. This is why they're so polarizing, and they're not winning any friends and influencing people. And I guess that they don't really care about that. So, because they have enough money to say, I don't care what you think, I'm going to do whatever I want. And it's just unfortunate that it's like that. So actually, I agree with some of the stuff he says. I wish that the U.S. was better about promoting engineering and mathematics and STEM type stuff. I just don't think we do a good job of it. And I think that we put too much emphasis on sports and entertainment and Hollywood. then we put more emphasis on that than we do on engineering. And look at teachers. Look how much teachers are paid versus the NBA, right? That's a real huge indicator of what this culture has wrought, and which direction we've decided to go as a nation. It's just unfortunate to me. So I agree with some of the stuff that they were saying. I just think that they said it wrong, and Elon's not making any friends right now, and neither is Ramaswamy, that guy, the other super rich billionaire guy. They're just not. They just don't know how to say. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to pull other people in. Their explanations suck, and then they don't care. And then when you try to push back on them, rather than look at what they said back to people who disagreed. Like they're like children, man. They just don't know how to take. They don't act professional because they've never had to, right? They have enough money to just. These are people who are born rich, a lot of them. I don't know about Ramaswamy, but Elon Musk was born to a multi-billionaire in South Africa. Like, he's never known what it means to be poor, what it means to be humble, what it means to be destitute. He doesn't know what that means. You know what I mean? And then same with Trump. These people, they're the elite they're the elite born from elite. They've never known what it means to have to struggle, or to have to compromise, or to it's something that has made them great, and also something that's made them monsters, because they have the hubris to do these amazing things, but at the same time they don't have enough compassion or empathy to see the bottom. They've never seen the bottom before. They don't know what it looks like. But you and I, we do. Like, we know what it looks like. Because we've been there before. So we would be more empathetic to somebody who has nothing. But these people, many of them, especially Elon and Trump, they were born to millionaires. Their parents were millionaires, and then they've never known what is. You know what I'm saying? So I think they have good ideas. Like, some of their ideas are amazing. Like I said, I like a lot of Elon's ideas. I like a lot of the stuff he's done. I think he's a really smart guy. I think he does some real demonic stuff, like taking over companies and then try to become the founder of them. I don't look at how he's done a lot of his companies. Like, what he'll do is he'll buy a company, right? This is what he did with Tesla. He'll buy, which is brilliant. He'll buy the company. Tesla was already made before he got there. I don't know if you knew that, but it was made by another group, two dudes, right? Two really smart dudes in California who solved the electric car problem. He bought he bought into the company. He bought enough shares to where he could call himself a co-founder, and then some internal politics happened with it where they kicked out one or two of the original founders and took over the company. And if you look at a lot of the stuff, he tried to do it with ChatGPT. Like, ChatGPT was between him and oh shit, I can't remember the guy's name. Him and this current CEO, and they were like, "Hey, we know we should compete with we should try to compete with Google DeepMind, because DeepMind's about to take over." And so the other guy went and did it. He started doing it, and then Elon came in later and was like, "Here's some money," and try to buy himself into the co-foundership. And they were like, "No, we don't. We're going to take this thing public. We don't want to do nonprofit. We don't want to make it open source. We're going to go ahead." And Elon disagreed with that. So he tries to buy himself into companies, which I don't think is. It's the corporate American way, right? So if you look at Microsoft and Apple and all, what they'll do is, and Amazon, what they'll do is you think like we attribute all this stuff to Jeff Bezos, who's a brilliant guy, and to Bill Gates and all these guys. But if you look at the real history of it, their real brilliance was that they're sharks, in that they would buy other smaller companies and then gather all the intellectual property legally from all those different companies like a monopoly, and then play the game like that. You know what I mean? Their real brilliance is that, like, Elon is like a modern day Edison, because that's the same shit Edison did. They're smart. I mean, you can't sit. I mean, when people say, "Oh, they're idiots," or I will agree that they're baby men, right? They're immature children, but to say that they're not smart is crazy. They are fucking smart, man. All right, I got some more conversation going on. Tariq says, what you're saying is 100% facts. They never had to play the game. That's what I'm trying to say. As we say in the military in corporate America, exactly. You don't have to, and it's something. It's what makes them. What gives them their edge, because by not playing the game and doing it their own way, they're able to blaze a trail. It's kind of like if you ever seen avant-garde artists, like they color outside the lines. The reason why they're so great is because they're not coloring the line. They're like, nah, I'm gonna do this a completely different way. And then they change the whole game just by thinking outside the box, doing something totally different. And they have the hubris, they have the guts to do something like that, which is it's something that should be celebrated. I think that it should be celebrated, but at the same time, you know, a part of it is abused, because they're also using our tax dollars to do a lot of the stuff they're doing. And then rather than being thankful about the tax dollars that they spent to get subsidized to spend rocks into space, they're kind of like children, like, well, I want more, you know? And that's the part I disagree with. I don't like that they have so much power over on the scale of our democracy, which is, it's just unfortunate. And that's just my own personal opinion. I mean, I'm super dumb on politics. I don't really follow it that much, but the stuff I see, I'm just kind of disgusted by some of the things. And he says, the same way he's doing these companies, I could see him doing GS employees the same way. Exactly. I don't think anyone's working in GovTech is safe come next year. So, I'm currently working in the government sector. I'm not GS. I'm a contractor. I'm gonna be all right. But one of our bosses, who is in the government, came out on both sides. Our contracting boss and our actual one of the heads of the departments that I work in DHS, because they're targeting DHS specifically. And what he said. What both bosses said was that the CEO of the company I work for, and also this high level GS in DHS, what they both said was that even if they change things with DHS, which I believe that they will, they put it in Project 2025, right? They're enacting a lot of the stuff from there. If you've read some of that stuff, they have most of the House, so legislative, they could actually make that happen. They have most of Congress, and then you have the president. And then he said it, like he ran on that ticket that I'm gonna change specifically DHS. So they're gonna do something. And so some of the people are scared, and they're like, yo, what's gonna happen? Like, what are we gonna do? And they said, look, even if they change something, which they probably will, it will take a while for all that stuff that they're trying to do to come to fruition. And in other words, let's say that they want to move a department, they want to restructure a department. Let's say they want to take the Coast Guard and put it under the Department of Transportation. So that's going to take like 3 years to do. That's going to take, you got to move all those people. You got to figure out what parts of the Coast Guard you want to bring over there. You got to bring all of the HR department, like what parts of it need to go over there, and how will they staff it? Do they need new people? Just to strategize all the stuff that they're saying that they're going to do is going to take a year. And so that's what our bosses were saying. It's going to, you know how long that shit takes to do that? And another thing that they brought up was like, well, what about work from home? Like, because a lot of us work from home in this particular department. Like, they're saying they're going to take that away. And what happens with that? They were like, we don't even have facilities. We don't even have buildings, they'd have to buy the building first. We don't have enough buildings for us to go to because of, after COVID, they started switching everything out. They realized we need disaster recovery where we can work anytime, any place, from anywhere. And so they already started restructuring everything. And so if we started moving back to the offices, even, that's another huge task. They have to buy the buildings first, figure out where they're going to put those to house all these different offices, the cubicle. They got to put all the stuff in the cubicles. Then we got to, like, you know what I'm saying? This stuff, even if they do, it's going to take like 3 years, right? It's going to take 3. These are gigantic parts of our infrastructure that we have to build from scratch or move or something. So that was a really great point that they brought up, is like, even if they do decide to do it, it's going to take a while to do it. So right now, worrying about it is not going to help you. You know what I mean? That's what they were kind of saying. And I think Larry knows about a little something about this. Larry says they're going to be a trickle down. I don't think they're going to start headhunting a GS 9 through 12. That's theoretically hold no power or influence. Agencies have political heads. They will go first. That's usually how it works. Yeah, having been a part of this world for so long, working for the Air Force, the Army, going through, Department of Defense, NASA, all of them, and then having a president, another administration come in and go out. That's exactly what Larry is saying is right. So the heads of those departments, those guys are going to get changed. Like the Secretary of Defense, those guys they're gone. They're already looking for new people to replace them, right? So they're out of here. But then their staff will also change, because sometimes especially if you're that high up, Department of Secretary of State, Department of Energy, all those people who are appointed by the president and then have to be approved by the legislative branch. Once they come in, they have to choose their own people underneath them. Their heads of agencies underneath them, because if you have the Department of Homeland Security, they need a CIO, they need a deputy CIO, they need a CISO, they need a CFO, and then that person, the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, for example, they were appointing and hiring people underneath them. So all the people who are currently there, they're out of here. The people up top they're gone for sure. And then beneath them, by the time it gets to like a GS 12 or below, it's not political anymore, right? Now there is talk of one of the things in Project 2025, and I do not want to get too political here, but one of the things I read in there is that what they're trying to do is make all of the high level positions, like your GS, I don't even know how high, GS 15s and your GS whatever, they're trying to make them loyalists to the president. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is in Project. If you look at the data, look at what they're saying. That's one of the things that they're trying to do. And that I personally disagree with, because that can get very, very ugly. Especially in that could work in China, but that's not going to work in the US. There's too many different mindsets. There's too many different minds at work doing this stuff we do. There's too many different ideas. Like, we are not marching to the same orders. Like, we're not thinking the same. We do not believe the same things. We don't have the same religion. We're not obligated to, per the First Amendment. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work here to do something like that. It's a disaster. So I don't know how that's going to go. Larry says older personnel would probably also be forced to retire or get an early retirement option. Then this is another thing they brought up, Larry. And then Larry says, then people with poor performance evals, I have been through a RIF or a reduction in force before. They did this when Obama was in office with the Department of Defense. And then Larry goes on to say, I work in the GSA, and our administration, essentially a political head appointed by Biden, right? That's the president. They appoint that the heads of these different agencies and departments, will be gone come January with the incoming president, and the same with her staff. That's correct. That is absolutely correct. That's what happens every time a new administration comes in. The heads are gone, like they are out of here, and then a new group comes in, and then they're moving the needle as far as the stuff that they're saying in Project 25 pretty much already is happening. Like that's already how it works. Like the upper level people in these departments are in line with the will of the president. But if you go any lower than that, in the weeds of people, like you want the people who can do the work, right? You want to hire somebody who can actually do project management or program management. You want people who, regardless of what their political leanings are, right? You want somebody who can fix the routers. You want somebody who can who can manage the firewall. That's it. Like it ends at that level, at the top level, with the staffing of the CIO or the CISO or whoever, and the staff that follows the new administration. But after that, you know what I mean? Like, and then Tariq says, what are people doing? What are you doing to prepare, Larry? And then Larry says, the biggest concern is making the feds at will employees. Okay. He says, one of the benefits of Fed work has been it's hard to be fired, so you're protected against your boss's poor treatment without due process. And that's one of the, I would agree with that. Like one of the things that I think about often, because as a contractor, I'm in and out. Like we're in and out of here. You know what I mean? They can let us go for any you pass gas wrong, they can let you go and then make up something, a real reason why they let you go. You get paid more, but they can just let you go at any time. But in the GS positions, like working as a civil servant, and this is, Tariq, one thing you might want to think about when you get out is that they can't just fire you for no reason. Like there's a due process, and that works in in the workers' favor. So we'll see if they try to change that culture. So, and let me see, I got some other conversation. Oh, Bruce, how's your cloud learning going? Yeah, it's going pretty good. So for those of you who don't know, I've been studying for AWS certified cloud practitioner, and I'm in a phase where I'm going to start memorizing some of the stuff, all the notes that I took. And then once I'm done, I would like to release the notes and all the study, and I'll put it all together and then package it up, and so I can deliver it to you guys, just like I did with Risk Management Framework and all that kind of stuff. And I'm starting from the ground. I know a little bit about cloud, but not the technical side of it, because I've done GRC for cloud, but not like I want to get more hands. I'm just noticing like I need to know more. So that's why I've kind of started inundating myself with cloud stuff. It's going well. Like it's not hard. It's especially if you have a strong grasp of IT fundamentals, networking, and basic stuff. Then it's just memorizing the services at that point, you know. So that's where I'm at, and I'll be taking it in sometime in February. I'll be taking the certification, so you can hold me to that. Say, hey, Bruce, why did you take the certification? That would be fair. So yeah, I'll be taking it pretty soon. And then after that, I'm trying to figure out which one next. Professor Black Ops said that he said that I should take what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. If I saw it, I'd know. Associate Architect. And then another one was a security specialist certification in AWS. I don't know if I'll go that track. I don't know if I want to be like a hardcore AWS guy just yet. I'm still trying to figure out my options. It's AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate. That's what he told me to take. And then the other one he told me to take was was a security specialist in those three. And now I'm seeing what he's saying. And now that I know more and I'm looking at like how the market's going, that is a damn good certification. The one he told me to get is like one of the most fire certifications you can get. I mean, below the professional and expert level ones, of course. So if I did go that track, it would be awesome. But I think that would take me a lot of more time. So I don't know which way I'm going to go just yet. But this first certification, I'm definitely taking that one in February. So let me see here. Got some more folks on TikTok. I don't want to ignore you guys. So, and somebody said, I'm in college with a business admin with a concentration in management of information systems. Well, congratulations. What I'll tell you is what I tell all students, and that's to focus on trying to get some experience while you're in school. Don't wait to get the paper. Focus while you're in school still. Like, be a working student. Try to help them with the help desk task of fixing computers. If you can't do any of that, your school doesn't have that kind of stuff, find a mentorship program, find an internship program, find a apprenticeship program. Use them. Try to get yourself some hands-on experience. Another thing you can do is projects. There's no excuse. You can get some experience before you get out. But before you get that paper, use everything at your disposal to get that experience under your belt, because that's what they really want to see when you get outside. Let me see. Fluffy says, would this path apply to working in hospital healthcare? If so, what would be a good role? What would be the role job? What would be the role of the job? Yes, that's one of the specific things that I talk about in my course I'm still developing it, by the way, is that there's certain industries that lend themselves to GRC. And for the healthcare industry is one of them. Financial is another one. Government and military is another one. But there's many other ones. Healthcare in particular has HIPAA. So some of the names that they call them is, let me see if I can find some real world examples here that I can point you to. So HIPAA is what they call it. Is like, I'm sure if you're in the healthcare industry, you know all about that. But HIPAA is what it's all based on. The GRC is based off of HIPAA. So GRC roles in healthcare. Let me show you what I'm talking about to get some actual roles. GRC healthcare compliance, Indeed. Okay, I'm on the Indeed right now. And you can go to LinkedIn and find this. You can go to Monster. There's many different places you can find this. But here is a couple. Compliance and risk. And this is for a hospital in California. Here's another one. Healthcare compliance and, okay, it's like the screen is like flashing. It's really weird. Healthcare compliance and risk management. IT GRC specialist. That's at a hospital, Blue Cross Blue Shield. GRC, and that's the tip of the iceberg. They usually don't call it GRC something or other. Let me see if I can find another one for you. Healthcare compliance manager. Yeah, here's one. Healthcare regulatory project management, pharma compliance manager, risk and compliance, healthcare. So there's many different names for it, but you kind of get the idea, right? And sometimes they'll just call it like I don't know, information security officer or something like that, and it'll be at a hospital. So once you know the keywords in your industry, then you can find a lot more of these jobs, and they have many, many different names for it. But HIPAA is what all of this stuff, HIPAA, HITRUST, protection of patient information, that's all GRC type stuff. So yeah, no problem. Let me see. I got some other questions here and comments and stuff that I'll read. Larry says, I would like to get more GRC under my belt as well as certs like the CISSP and PMP. Wow, that's a huge goal. CISSP and PMP, those are awesome certifications. I have the CISSP, and it opens up a lot of doors if you're in IT. He says to make myself more well-rounded. Yeah, that would be for federal or civilian. Yeah, that's awesome, Larry. That's a great goal for 2025. What are your goals for 2025 out there? What are you guys trying to do? IT goals or any goal? Larry says, I work with a lot of people that are stuck in a single track mindset and not looking to change. I don't understand that personality, but to each their own. People don't like to change, you know. Some people, like, you get comfortable. I get it. You get comfortable in one spot and you don't want to change. Tariq says, definitely understand that, Larry. I think that it's best to be a well-rounded, and at this point of time, getting my PMP in February, a CISM in the second quarter of next year. Oh my gosh, man, you guys are putting my goals to shame here. CISM, that's no joke. Let me see if I got more questions here. Let me see. I got a couple other things. Larry says, being here with you all, and you guys, like Bruce, has changed my outlook. I'm locked in. So many online, Simone Bees. Yeah, she's awesome. That give you game for free. Like I've been in a free tech undergrad. Yeah. So my goals for 2025 is going to be to use AI and learn as much as possible about AI. And the whole reason I'm getting into cloud deeper is because I realize that AI needs cloud to scale. And the deeper I get into this, the more I'm realizing how much this is going to change all of our lives, including people who are non-IT. They're putting AI on everything. It's going to be on every phone. It's going to be on TVs. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so effective. It works so well that, and the way that they put that chat feature, that generative chat feature, you can put it everywhere. It can be a menu for everything. You could put it in cameras. You can put it in everything. So as the processing gets cheaper, and as they begin to make more APKs, like little bits of code that allow you to put it in Internet of Things, you'll be able to do a lot more things with it. So I just believe it'll be everywhere. So this year, I'm going to try to learn as much of it as possible. I'm going to learn cloud stuff. I might do the beginnings of cloud AWS. Well, I'm definitely doing that, but I might do Azure and Google as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the beginning of it yet. And then from there, I'm going to start building up AI and automation. I already started integrating as much as I can into my work, to my job, but also into my business, because I really want to learn as much of it as possible. So in 2025, I'm all in on it, and I'm going to learn as much as possible. I'm already messing around with generative AI from Google, from Anthropic, from Microsoft and OpenAI, all of them. And they have a new feature, I'm messing around with it. And then if it's really effective, I'll integrate it into like what I'm doing for training, for teaching, for creating documents, anything I can legally put into. That's what I'm using it for. All right, I got some more comments on here. Somebody said, let me see, can I post this? Pin post. Okay. Somebody said AI is going to be on your phone, perhaps on apps, and there will be a bunch of small AI models soon, smaller AI models soon. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, they're already on our phones. So you can already use OpenAI, Anthropic, and Gemini. I always call it Gemini on your phone as an app. But what they're beginning to do, like on the new Google phone, is to integrate it into the entire phone, into the menu and everything. And it's a really exciting and scary time that we're living in, because the things that you can do with it are absolutely amazing. So yeah, let me see. I got another comment here. Somebody says, Marius says, hello, I've been working towards a certification on health information technology. What type of jobs? Health information technology. Let's take a look. I apologize for this. This screen is kind of like has this weird flashy thing going on, and I can't stop that. So that's me. Let me see. Let me show you some stuff here. Let's go to LinkedIn. This is my real LinkedIn page. My real job, my real description. And I'm going to type in health information technology. Let's look up health information manage, and let's say technology. If you can't see my screen, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just typing in health information technology. Whoa, shit, Larry. Thanks, man. Oh, man, I appreciate that. Okay. I got something for you, Larry. Just keep watching, man. I got something. When I release this stuff, I got something for you. All right, let's look at a couple of these jobs. HIPAA security analyst, 100% remote. Look at this. This is an awesome job right here. Shit, I might apply for this job. Look at this job. Look at this shit. HIPAA security analyst, 100% remote. Look at this. All I gotta do is hit this button right here, and I can apply for this job. This is wild. Look at this. Oh, I got Liquid Death Fund. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, it's a 6 to 9 month project. And let's see. Look at the job. Let's look at the job description, give you an idea. You're going to support information security and risk management by maintaining and enforcing an information security and risk management framework methodology. So what they mean is you'll be a part of the information security team, and then you guys will be using things like HitTrust. So what you would want to do to prepare for this job is to get to know whatever framework they're using so that you can be a part of that process. That's what they're saying here. You're going to manage the process of gathering and analyzing and assessing the current future threat landscape. So they'll probably have a tool that will help you to figure out what the threats are. So one of the tools that they use for cyber threat intelligence is like one I used in the past is called a recorded future, which would like scan the internet for threats against your brand. And let me see, they're talking about GRC tools here. They're talking about you coordinate with the CISO, that's the Chief Information Security Officer, for compliance checks. So you'll be a part of like the assessment. Whenever they do an assessment, you'll be a part of the team that's making sure everything is good to go before they get there and coordinate with them and stuff like that. Let's look at another one here. Another healthcare industry job. Here's one. This is a consultant info protection, IT info government and governance, and it is for, it doesn't tell me what actual hospital or healthcare organization it is. I'm not seeing that. So let's go to another one here. But you can see like some of the names don't necessarily say healthcare in the name. But even though I did search for healthcare throughout the United States, let's look at this next one here. Yeah, look at this one. Oh, this is definitely healthcare right here. This one. So Marius says, please, what did you put in the search bar? Okay, now, Marius, everybody watching, if you happen to be in the healthcare industry, listen, you don't have to do this on just LinkedIn. You can do this on Dice. You can do this on my favorite one, Monster, in order. Monster, LinkedIn, Dice, and then Career Builder, ZipRecruiter, any of these will work. So what I typed in is health information technology, exactly what somebody asked me, or was that you? Somebody asked me to type that in, and that's what I typed in. But that's not the only thing you have to type in. What you can also do is this. If it has this feature here, oh man, I didn't show my screen. My bad. So let me show you guys this. So let's say you were a project manager. Now you could type in anything. You could type in cybersecurity risk. You could type in SOC analyst, whatever. I'm going to put in project manager. Project manager. Okay, project manager, and I'm going to search all the United States. Now, there's about 39,000 jobs, but that's a little bit deceptive. So let's get a little bit more specific. Let's say within the last month, because some of these jobs are already gone. So if we sort it by that, there's 28,000 jobs for project manager, which is awesome. And then check this out. We can sort this, and you can do this on Monster, on Dice, on all the major job aggregators. So we're going to go to, where is it? All filters. And we're going to sort by industry. So we want healthcare, right? So where did I find that before? Internship, company. There's a way that you can sort by industry, and I'm looking for it right now. Jobs. Let me see. All filters. Where did I find that before? Okay, here we go. I wasn't on the right search bar here. There it is, by industry. See that? And we want a healthcare, right? So hospital and healthcare. Let me see if there's, and you could just type in an industry. Let's just say pharma. If we wanted to have that as part of what we wanted to look for, you could add that in there. And now it's filtering by just those things. Let's say show. And there's 1,000 jobs here. So check this out. There's 1,500 jobs for just pharma. You're going to have to do more work. But I mean, if you look at this job right here, it only has 22 applicants. It's in New York. If I hit this button right here, I automatically apply for this job because I have filled out my entire profile on LinkedIn. And that's what you want to do on Dice, on Monster, and all of them. You want to fill it all out as much as possible. And then that way you can do like a hit one button and then it'll apply all your stuff there. Discard. All right. So project manager, look at all these jobs. Here's one in Las Vegas at 65,000. Here's one in Virginia at $80 an hour. Oh my, that's actually really good. There's an IT project manager, senior IT manager, project manager. So Las Vegas, Virginia, Rockland, Maryland, Florida, North Carolina, and it just goes on and on. There's 1,500 jobs. That's just in the healthcare industry. That's how you do it right there. All right, let me see what else we got. More comments and questions. Go back over here. Larry, thanks a lot, man, for $100, man. Thanks a lot. Holy shit, man. I really got to do something special for you, man. I got some stuff. Don't worry, something really good. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. This is the man who's donated to the Liquid Death Fund. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay. Larry said, just want to say I appreciate you, brother, and I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas. This channel, its content, and the community helped me to stay motivated, positive, and beat imposter syndrome. I know I belong to the tech and cyber industry. You know, that's a great point. Imposter syndrome. It's where you feel like, how can I talk? How can I speak on this? I'm not as smart as this other person. This person has so much more pull than me or whatever. This person has a doctorate. I don't even have a degree, How can I speak on this? Or, I'm not a skilled hacker or something. These are all things that run through my mind sometimes. But you know what keeps me going is I think that about it like this. It's my mission to help you. That's it. If I have something that I can do, something that I can say or give to you, then that's what keeps motivate me. I don't have a doctorate. I don't know. I'm not a hacker. I'm not the smartest dude, right? I've been in a room of smart guys, and I'm telling you, I'm not the smartest one. I'm telling you. But one thing that I have that a lot of them don't in that room is that I'm willing to help people. You know, I'm willing to take time to help people out, and I have the patience to do it. And so what keeps me going is that I know that there's somebody who is in my position who is me from 10 years ago or from 20 years ago when I was just starting out. And I wish somebody would have been there to tell me something very simple, like what is a system security plan? Like something very simple. Something that obviously I could go on at the time Yahoo and figure it out. But to have it come from the mouth of somebody who's already in the industry, who's done a couple of them before, is a completely different thing than reading it on Wikipedia. You know what I mean? So that's the whole reason I do this. And that's my motivation behind doing this channel, is that it's right from when I did my first blog. It's to help people out. And that's why most of my stuff is free. That's why that I do this on holidays and birthdays and whatever day, whether I'm sick or drunk or whatever. I'll still get on here, and I do it to help people. And that's what gets me not focused on my own imposter syndrome or whatever is going on in my own head, and makes me do it anyway. So thank you so much, Larry, for this. I appreciate you. And I definitely have something special for you, man. Tariq says, we see who's making the real money out here. Mr. Larry. Okay, let me see here. I got some other questions on here. Security expert, man, long time no see. He says, I hold many certifications, and surprisingly, the PMP certification was one of the most challenging ones, because at the time I had been primarily focused on technical and security certifications. Yeah, that's one I've never taken before, but a couple of cybersecurity peers of mine have taken it. And I always wondered, like, this CISSP or wherever with 20 years of experience is taking a PMP. But now I know why they do it, because that's a very good certification. It's definitely worth your time. I think it's an expert level certification too. It's like the top tier project management certification. Let me see here. I wanted to point something out to you guys that I learned over the weekend. CompTIA, and some of you already know this, but they're changing the name of one of the major certifications. And let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Show my screen. One of the major certifications called the CASP. And CASP, I just clicked the wrong thing here. My bad. Let's go to the CompTIA page. This one, I believe they're going to change it to a Security X certification. That's the name of it they're changing. I don't know if they're going to change the content, but CompTIA CASP Plus is now going to be called Security X. And it's a pretty good marketing ploy. I mean, that's a really good way to compete directly with some of the other major players. CASP is on the same level as a CISSP. And I've heard from a good friend of mine that it's very difficult certification to pass. It's an advanced security expert level certification from CompTIA. So a lot of the CompTIA, more popular CompTIA certifications are entry level, but CASP is not entry level. So this one is no joke, because that friend of mine is one of the smartest people I've ever met. And if he says it's hard, it's hella hard. This dude has a CCNP, he has several CCNPs, and those I know are hard. And he has a CISSP. So he said CASP was one of the hardest certifications he's ever taken. So anyway, so CASP is now going to be called Security Plus, Security X. Let me see if I got any other questions from TikTok. Nothing else from TikTok. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. And Larry says, oh, he's commenting on the PMP. Yeah, PMP is awesome. That's an awesome certification. And he says, from what I've seen, holding the PMP and another high level tech certification can really go far if you put the work in. I've been doing the work and now I want the certs. Yeah, that's the right attitude right there. So, and that's one of the things I'm doing right now myself on the back end, going through this cloud hell right now. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty cool stuff. It's interesting, especially the cross section between that and AI. I'm really excited to learn more about that, how that all works. And it's helping me to realize, learning cloud is helping me to realize how they're able to do things like Netflix, because Netflix uses the cloud. And I'm starting to realize how much we actually rely on the cloud, on cloud technologies, and how many of these companies are able to scale so fast at a cost-effective price, in a cost-effective way. And that's one of the biggest things, my biggest takeaways from learning about how all these cloud certifications, cloud works as a whole. I do want to, I am thinking maybe I should go down the Azure path. So I'm kind of like getting the shiny object syndrome going on. Like, oh, what about this one? What about that? What about Google certification? What about, and I'm trying to tamper my, you know what I mean? The shiny object, like new things happen and you're like, oh, I want to spend all my time doing this other thing. So, trying to keep myself focused, but for sure, very soon I'm gonna be taking that AWS certification. And I think what I'll do is, whether I pass or fail, I'll let you guys know. And then I'll definitely put together all my notes that I've been taking from the very beginning of it. And then some of the sources that I've been taking, like this here is one of the resources I've been using. This book right here, I'll listen to it, but I'll also read it. And then I'll do a video class, and then I'll go through my notes. And then my next phase, like I'm getting to the next phase of it, where I'm just going to be studying and memorizing my notes and finding one of those, maybe asking AI. Another thing I do, which is really cool, is I'll have AI make me a test, and then it'll ask me the questions, and then I'll just repeat back the questions. So that's pretty cool. Professor Black Ops. Yeah, Professor Black Ops is another resource that I've been using on a regular basis. Now, so another shout out to Larry. I did not know about him until Larry pointed out that I think he might have appeared on some of my old shows, like in the comments, or him and I might have talked. As a matter of fact, I think him and I have talked before, which is weird. I didn't even know I was talking. I didn't know he had content. And then Larry pointed out, hey man, you should do a interview with him. And I did, and I was blown away. I was like, damn, this guy. And I started watching his content, and it's very good stuff on security. The marriage between security and cloud is what I'm most impressed by. So I watch his content quite a bit. And I haven't been able to catch many of his lives. He's been doing lives back to back, man. So I don't know how he's doing that, but because we got jobs, you know what I mean? So that shit's hard when you got a job. But yeah, he's been doing it back to back, and I need to catch some of those lives more often. But his old content's really good too, where he'll break down like specifically AWS and how to secure it, the shared security model, and then how to implement it into gov tech and stuff. So he's got some great content. So shout out to Professor Black Ops, putting out some great content out there, man. I really appreciate you. If you having a Merry Christmas to you, Happy New Year, and to everybody, have a Happy New Year. And we should make a pact that we're gonna work our asses off for this next year, and get some new certifications. Get some new certifications. So I'm gonna start with the cloud stuff. I see Tariq said he's taking, what was that, Tariq? The CISM. I'm gonna hold you to it. Who else? Who else is out here citing stuff? I saw somebody say something about PMP. PMP, the CISM. What else? What else you guys got? Anybody else making a promise right now for next year? Professor Black Ops is making 2-hour power sessions. He's still talking about the 2-hour power session you guys did. Some really great content. You motivated him to get back on track with the grind. Yeah, I still have videos I think that are coming out where I took his content, our content, and I just broke it into parts. So I still haven't done like the shorts yet. I'm gonna take the shorts and put those on TikTok and YouTube, and I've been promoting the hell out of his stuff because he's got some great content. So hopefully I'm sending some traffic his way. I don't really have that much traffic, but any traffic I can, I want to send it his way because he's got great content. Really appreciate him putting out all that great information. So shout out to Professor Black Ops once again. Let me see here. I want him to do a course. He needs to get with me to do a course, man. Let's see. Let me see here. I'm looking through all my comments or questions from TikTok. If there's any other ones, sometimes I'll miss stuff. So let me just sort through this. Okay, I think I hit everything. I think I hit every question. Thank you guys for watching on TikTok. I really appreciate it. I wish I could master this extra screen on TikTok, man. It's just a pain in the ass. It took me an extra hour to get this damn thing to work. Their software is not very good for doing this. I need to get another solution. All right, guys. I think that's it for this one. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year. I appreciate everybody who's watching, and special thanks and shout out to Larry. Thanks a lot. Thanks again. Let's make another great year. I got so many things I'm trying to put out for next year. But it's just taking me a while to put it all together. Larry says, my goal is a minimum of a Security Plus. Amen. And the PMP in 2024. Wait a minute. My goal is at a minimum Security Plus. You mean in 2025? Longer term CISSP. Yeah. Okay. That's a good plan. So you're saying Security Plus first, PMP, and then long-term CISSP. That's a good plan. And maybe cloud certifications, but Security Plus and PMP to start. Motivated and focused, man. That's how you do it. Security Plus was one of the first security certifications that I took, and that helped me to get the CISSP. It prepared me for the CISSP, but that test is ridiculously hard. So take your time with the security, with the CISSP. Security Plus, you can do it. You can definitely do that one, and it's worth your time. Security Plus is worth your time for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys really, really soon. Happy New Year.